So we're going in now to the women's slalom final. Our first competitor is from the USA. It's the 15-year-old from Orlando, Florida. It's Ali Garcia. This is the 13-metre line. So with the slalom event, we have 6 boys out there in the middle of the Yarra River. Each of our competitors need to go through the entry and exit gates and navigate their way around all 6 of those turn buoys. And we see Ali Garcia completing the 13-metre line. Boat speed for the Nautique 200 is 55 k's for our young ladies.
Well, Ali Garcia ran this pass in the semi-finals. Can she back it up on Moomba Monday? Angles through the gates, turns. Well, she messed up the gates or she messed up something, but unfortunately not being able to turn one. And Ali Garcia, one buoy on the 12-metre pass.
Yeah, it's tough conditions out there. We've got the tail current and the winds to contend with here on the Yarra River. This is Shani Oliver from Australia on that 13-metre line. Working her way down at buoy number 4. She turns 4 nicely. Edging to 5 now, reaches for 5, she does, and she's going to be out through number 6. Shani Oliver completes the 13-metre line.
Now she shortens to 12. Well, she really needs to get through 12 to make any impression on this event. So Shani Oliver now angles into 1, breaks forward around 1, loses the handle, unfortunately falls. Well, we go to replay. She looks like she sets up pretty well at the gates. Maybe there's 1 or 2 rollers, the ski just undulating there. She turns, unfortunately loses body position and releases the handle. Well, a rather disappointed Shani Oliver caught up with Ryan on the dock.
One of 2 Aussies in the Moomba Monday slalom final. A little bit of a disappointing result. How was it out there?
I guess it's not the result I wanted, but at the end of the day, my ultimate goal coming into Moomba was to make Monday. So I achieved that goal, and the girls I'm skiing against are like the best in the world, dude. So I'm just stoked to be here. Home country, home crowd. Definitely not the score I was hoping for, but I couldn't be happier,
So we move on now to our next competitor, Minh Anh France of France. She's moved her way all the way down now. This is the 12-metre line, so she's taken the lead there with the 1 ball. She looks good at 2, though. A little bit of slack line. She's going to be down course at 3. Going to really need to work hard here at 4. Good turn at 4. Makes up a lot of time through the slalom course. Turns 5 and out through 6 on the 12-metre line.
Well, with the quality of field, a good score on 11.25 at least is what's going to be needed to take out this event. So 11.25 metre line. Centre of the course, the turn buoys is only 11.5 metres, and Minh Anh France, she gets to buoy 2, stands the ski up, and then desperately tried to get to 3, but unfortunately falling around 3, so a score of 2 buoys on the 11.25 metre line.
We'll get that official score through, but good start there at 1. Just was probably stood up a little bit out of 1. Gets the ski across to 2, turns 2 on the back of the ski, though. Really has to lean on that right shoulder to try and get the ski. And that official score coming through 2.5 on the 11.25 can really make a difference here in this Moomba Masters Slalom Final. We go now to the USA. Karen Truelove completed her first 2 opening passes. This is now the 12-metre line from the Swan Street Bridge. Turns 2 now. Needs a big turn here at 3. All breaks forward. And it looks to be 2.5 on the 12 for Karen Truelove of the USA. Yeah, Karen, she'll be disappointed with that. We go now to our next competitor, the final competitor from Australia in this slalom final, Vanessa Veek. She's onto the 12-metre line as well. She needs a good start. She does. Stands up beautifully and tall at 2. Got good angle across to 3. Oh, again, digs the ski in around buoy 3 and 2.5 on the 12-metre line for Vanessa Veek. Another disappointing. The Yarra really finding it tough out here in 2018. We go now to the defending Moomba Masters Slalom champion, Whitney McClintock. This is the 12-metre line. She needs to run this pass and get more than 2.5 to take the win off Minh Anh France. She's down course, though, here at 4. She's back on it, though, at 5. And there you go, out through 6. Looks better there, Whitney McClintock on the 12-metre line.
Now we shorten to 11.25. She needs 3 buoys for the win, but she has run this pass many a time on the Yarra, so Whitney surely must be favoured to do so. Let's see what she can do here. Angles through the gates, turns around buoy 1. Pretty good start out of 1, great angle. Just waits for 2, but she's late out of 2. She stretches for 3. She gets back to the wake, and Whitney McClintock from Canada takes the win in the women's slalom final.
Yeah, great work from Whitney, defending Moomba Masters champion, and she is going to be your 2018 Moomba Masters slalom champion here as well. Great start. She got a little bit down course. Girls finding it really tough, and as we move into the men shortly, this tail current is really causing drama out here on the Yarra. Gets very wide, just the slack line. You see the line there getting really slack out of boy number 2. Still manages to get across to number 3 and back to the wakes to give her the full 3 points. And we caught up with Whitney on the dock.
It was a really aggressive start coming out on the 13-metre line. Was there anything behind that?
That's kind of my normal. I actually, right at the last minute, I talked to Thomas de Gasperi and I said, what do you think? I mean, people are having trouble with that tail current. I just need to get to 3-ball. And he said, just trust yourself. Just go ski. It felt really good, actually. It felt great out there. Kevin did a great job behind this Nautique 200 today. Felt great. I'm just so thankful to come out on top.
And as the official results come to hand, first place, Whitney McClintock, followed by Manon Costard. Third place, Vanessa Veek, Australia. Now the men's slalom final. 8 competitors in all. First off the dock, Stephen Neveu from Canada. The rope length is 11.25 metres. The boat speed, 58 kilometres per hour. Big, strong lad. Turns around boy 2. Some of the women were having a few problems with the conditions. Let's see what the guys can do as he takes boy 4. He's a little bit late down course, but broke at the waist at 5. Hangs on though and gets around boy 6 and successfully completes 11.25 metre pass. So we shorten the rope up to 10.75 metres just to make it that little bit harder as Stephen Neveu comes on course, turns around 1. Well, this is probably about it's going to take to win the event, to run 10.75. And Stephen Neveu, well, he's really on song here. He turns around 5. He leans into the rope. What strength. Gets around 6 and just through the gates. And there is one happy Canadian, Stephen Neveu, completing the 10.75 metre line. Well, now 3 on this length is the Moomba course record, 10.75. Here he comes, Stephen Neveu. Hooks around 1, gets a little bit of slack, but he's still in the game. Gets to 2 and back to the wake and 2 at 10.25 metre line. What a marvellous score for Stephen Neveu.
Yeah, he looked a little bit unsettled on those first couple of passes, but squeaked his way through and ran the 10.75 and 2 on the 10.25. Got a great start here, get his ski all the way around. Little bit of slack line though, that tail current just pushing him down course. Gets a ski all the way around boy number 2. I don't know if it's going to be quite enough. It's still certainly going to put the pressure on the boys coming up, but Stephen Neveu, official score, 2 on the 10.25.
Stephen Neveu coming out first off the dock and laying down a serious score in some tricky looking conditions.
Yeah, that was hard out there. It was pretty tough. I wasn't too sure if I should maybe start at 35. The wind for the girls was going pretty strong and it looked like it died down a bit for us when I started there. So I just go with the 32 and just took it pass at a time.
Now we go to the Italian slalom star, Thomas de Gasperi. 10.75 metres is the rope length. Turns around 1. Stood up a little around 1, but it looks like he's back on song around 2. Turns around boy 3. Leans. Now he's around 4. He's in a bit of trouble. He's working though. He's not giving up. He takes in boy 5. Oh, and he gets to 6. Can he get through the gates? He does. Thomas de Gasperi from Italy, 6 on a 10.75 metre rope length.
Yeah, all of our boys, and we saw our girls struggling, but still they're putting out some big scores here in this slalom event. Can Thomas take the lead? Needs more than 2. Gets to 1, stands up though. He's going to just be inside boy 2. It's not going to be enough to put him on the podium. Thomas de Gasperi, 1 on the 10.25. So we go now to our next competitor, John Travers of the USA. This is the 10.75, keeping in mind between the centre of the course. Out of the boys, 11.5 metres. Gets across to 2, breaks forward though. He's not going to be across to 3. It's going to be 2 on the 10.75 for John Travers of the USA.
The Yarra River claiming a few victims today as Thomas Loft from Denmark. Rope length is 11.25 metres. See what he can do. This is a must-run pass. Turns. Well, he's a little bit late out of 1. Gets himself back together. Turns around 2. Stands the ski up around 2. And I'm not quite sure what happened, but Thomas Loft definitely won't be on the podium with a score of 2 on the 11.25 metre line.
No, disappointing for Thomas. We go now to Will Asher of Great Britain, previous winner at the Moomba Masters. This is the 10.75, so great angle out of boy number 2. A little bit of a slow turn at 3. He's really going to have to make up some time here, Will Asher. Does, though, beautifully. Round 5 and out through 6. Looks better there, Will Asher, towards the end of that 10.75 pass.
Okay, so the score to beat is 2. Will Asher comes back in on a 10.25 metre line. Starts his edge through the gates. Turns around one. Well, that was a bad turn out of one, and he's gone inside Boy 2. And unfortunately for Will Asher, well, a bit of a shock and a boil over, but 1 at 10.25 is all Will Asher will score.
And we go now to the Moomba Masters champion. He has been before. He's the world record holder, Nate Smith, third last off the dock. This is the 10.75. Needs to run this pass. Still the score to beat is 2 on the next. Turns 3, great turn out of 3, got great angle, making it look easy here on the 10.75 here. Nate Smith of the USA completes that 10.75 metre line.
So Nate Smith now with a rope length of 10.25 metres. Would dearly love to win the Moomba Masters, but there's a few skiers ahead of him and a score of 2 to beat. He gets around 2. Well, he's out of shape around 2. He gets to 3. He needs more than 3, I would think, but he gets back to the wakes. Well, he's a little bit disappointed, I would imagine, but 3 at 10.25 on the Yarra, a fantastic score for Nate Smith.
Yeah, it's still an equal course record. Let's break it down a little bit. Gets a nice turn out of 1. Stood up a little bit on the back of the ski, going to lose a little bit of angle. Digs the hips in. Doesn't normally, changes a little bit of his standard style there. Nate Smith around 2. Still managed just to get across in around number 3 and back to the wakes for that full 3 boys on the 10.25. We caught up with Nate after that great performance out there on the Yarra.
First guy off the dock, Steve Nephew, put out a massive score, 2 at 10.25. So he put the pressure on early, got the nerves going a little bit earlier. Will and T-Gas both had big scores, so I knew that I had to run 10.7 to even get a chance on the podium. But just stayed strong and tried to adjust from yesterday, and it worked out.
Now Joel Poland from Great Britain, 19 years of age, first time skier at Moomba Masters, and fantastic to see him here making the slalom final. Oh, and he's popped the handle through. Well, I thought he was looking good out of 1. He looked in good shape and popped the handle through the wakes, and 1 at 11.25 disaster for Joel Poland.
Yeah, that's right. And we go now to the final competitor. He's the top seed. This is Ben Stadelbauer of Switzerland. His is the 10.75, so he needs to run this. The score to beat is still 3 from Nate Smith. Big turn out of 4. Looking good, though. Oh, just managed to turn 5. Gets a squeaks out through number 6. Ben Stadelbauer completes the 10.75 and will shorten him up to the 10.25.
So the rope length now shortens to 10.25 metres. Ben Stadelbauer needs 3 and then some to take the title from Nate Smith. Let's see what he can do here. Turns around 1. He's a little bit down course at 1. He stretches for 2. Oh, and he's gone inside 2. So that will be it for Ben Stadelbauer. Unfortunately, only scoring 1 on the 10.25 metre line.
And your 2018 men's slalom champion from the USA, Nate Smith. In second place, Stephen Nephew of Canada. In third, Ben Stadelbauer of Switzerland.
Don't forget to enter the Moomba Masters competition to win these great prizes. There's 2 nights accommodation for 2 adults and 2 children in a luxury poolside villa at Big Fort Deniliquin Holiday Park, a KD trick handle, a KD competition tow rope and a KD platinum handle, 3-month supply of pressure fruit cold pressed juice minis, a C-Deck gift pack including a C-Deck step kit, and a Rockstar Boom Bottle waterproof wireless speaker. To enter, visit moombamasters.com.au.